Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Money Mondays. My name is Paul Johnson. I am the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG.
And I
And
am Belinda Ray, Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG.
awesome. And with that, I will continue a little thread I started last week. I think last week I showed everybody a one-stop shop for business owners published by the Department of Economic Community Development. And today I just want to highlight, my guess is everybody in the audience probably has seen this either in physical form or electronic form, but Mainebiz just released essentially their annual report about Maine jobs and the economy, and it is a super useful. It's a super useful resource, and it comes out on an annual basis. You can see, look at all these fun fact books, charts and graphs, and I think Windham and South Portland are both called out as success stories. So, congratulations to our folks in Windham and South Portland. But I encourage everybody to check it out. It is in a form that's pretty digestible, not just for people at the nonprofit sector, but the private sector. And it always sparks some nice ideas, and it gives you all sorts of snapshots of data that is often quoted, sometimes misquoted, in the economic development world. So I always find it super useful, and I believe the online version is free because I accessed it without paying for it, and I believe the physical copy costs some money if you're not a subscriber. As always, on the next slide, I give everybody a nice, easy link. So when the PDFs are sent to you in email afterwards, you can just use this to direct yourself right to the report. And with that, I will hand it over to the main event. Belinda?
The main event. I didn't know about that. So thank you. And I love, bar graphs and pie charts and line graphs. Oh my. So thank you. I'll definitely take a look at that. So today I want to talk about some water and wastewater resources. I know that we struggle in our community with some infrastructure. So these are potential resources to help you get that water and wastewater infrastructure to where you want it. There are two. First one is an EPA grant. It is Closing America's Wastewater Gap. And this one is free technical assistance for small and rural communities to try to address wastewater infrastructure failures. So it could be that you have a failing system, you have an inadequate system, or you don't have a public system. The three questions that they give you to see if you might be eligible are right here. Do you have in your community septic systems that back up into homes or cause sewage pools in yards? Does the town struggle with sanitation services, or are you struggling to rebuild after systems damaged by natural disasters? Now, if you say yes to any of those and you are a small or rural community, you might qualify. And what you can get out of this is that free technical assistance, no cost, and that will help you figure out your problem and come up with feasible solutions, including if you need funding, which everyone will need funding, assistance applying for funding through Clean Water State Revolving Funds. And that funding, that kind of funding, 49% of it is available as a grant or as principal forgiveness. They will also help you apply for other funding opportunities, identify them, apply. So it's great technical assistance. They are expanding this program right now, and they are seeking new communities. So this is the time to apply. The way that you do that, there is a short form application. It is online, it is easy, it is fast. There's a link there. It asks basic information about you, who you are, how you're affiliated with the town, basic information about your town, and then the type of project that you're looking to do. So there's some minimum information you're going to need to put in here. You send it, and then you find out if they select you. And if they do select you, then you're going to get some of that technical assistance. Municipalities, states, tribes, homeowners, and utilities are also eligible here. There is no deadline. There are rolling applications, but as with every opportunity, as we get, they announce this money is available, the longer we go, the more the money gets used. So it's always good to get in on the early end. The second program that I want to talk about today is WIFIA, the Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act of 2014. This is also an EPA program. This one provides long-term, low-cost assistance through low-interest loans. And their mission is to accelerate investments in water and wastewater infrastructure in the United States. This one is actually the very first thing I ever highlighted on Money Mondays back in May of 2024. So I have the link here. It's still relevant. I'm going to give you most of that information again here today. But if you go back and watch, you can see Paul and I on our maiden Money Mondays voyage. So WIFIA, there's broad eligibility. This is for public and private entities, not an individual, but organizations. You have to be credit worthy. They say right in their information, I was going to say infomercial, kind of, that they want to make sure the government's going to get paid back. So you got to be credit worthy. And they recently announced 7.5 billion in available funding. Now this comes out annually, but that's what they just announced was available for right now. Projects that are eligible here are wastewater and drinking water pipes and plants, green infrastructure, stormwater, desalination, water recycling, all these kinds of projects are eligible. And key program features I did for this one. So there's a $20 million minimum project size if you are considered a large community. And there's a $5 million minimum for small communities. And a small community is under 25,000 people. So there is no maximum on the project. To date, historically, they have funded projects ranging from 15 million to 700 million. So this is where to go if you've got the big project to do. Low interest rates are based on US Treasury rates. It is fixed for the life of the loan. And historically, these rates have ranged from 1% to 3.4. So that's very attractive. You have 35 years. That's the maximum final maturity date from substantial completion. 5 years is the amount of time after substantial completion of a project that you can defer your payment. So substantial, it's deferred during construction, and then 5 years after substantial completion, you can continue to defer payments if that's the way it works well for you. I've given this one a 2 on the difficulty chart. It starts with a letter of interest, but this is not a simple, dear WIFIA, I need money for my water, XOXO Standish. Like it's not, it's not an easy letter of interest. There are several pages. There's a lot of information you have to fill out, but it is a template. And they have office hours and they offer assistance filling out these forms. The people doing this program, very knowledgeable and very helpful. It's a rolling deadline. It is an annual opportunity. So you do have time, and you get that letter of interest in. And then if they choose you, they will help you through the full application process to get your project going. The maximum amount of your project that WIFIA will fund is 49%. So you need to find other funding sources, local funding sources, other federal. You can match it with other federal to get your project done. But again, this is a great one to check out, get the letter of interest in, and see if you qualify. And then I left in here, oh, well, more steps for both of these. There are the web pages, overview videos, a link to the Money Mondays where I first did with you, a link to the office hours. So those are coming up October 8th, November 12th, December 10th. You can get in there, you can ask your questions, you can get assistance. So look over the letter of interest and see what it is that you need to understand better. And then opportunities for closing America's wastewater access gap as well. And then at the bottom of the page, I put in a picture of the Great Salt Bay Sanitary District office because I grew up in Newcastle, Damascotta. My mom worked at the sanitary district after she retired as town clerk. She went here, and my dad was a trustee for many years. So I'm partial to this particular sanitary district. So last thing, I did leave in this webinar that I highlighted last week. It's still upcoming. It's this Thursday. So if anyone's interested, green infrastructure for small systems. Find out how you can do green infrastructure in a smaller community. And that is what I have for today. So I'm going to stop sharing. There's the stop share. And yeah. I'm done, Paul.
Well, and I think about 2 minutes ago we broke our attendance record for Money Mondays in
What?
the yeah in the audience. So
Amazing.
I mean, things are just they're skyrocketing around here. It's
Um, well, my tea bag today says find strength in knowing you can make a difference in the world.
that's what we just did. We
That's
just
what we
made a
just
little
did.
difference.
Yeah. All right. With that thought,
Yes.
everybody have a wonderful week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. We'll see you next week.